very, very warm welcome to Charcha 2024. And I actually welcome you on behalf of every one of the partners there and the Nudge Institute. Thank you so much for making it here and joining us today. The next 3 days of Charcha are about Charcha, discussions and dialogues, but that's a very small part of it. Charcha is also a lot more about how can we actually act on those ideas, that learning, those opportunities. And if we can leave Charcha with something new that we take back, that we can actually implement on the ground in a very practical way that improves the lives of those less privileged, I think it will be a successful Charcha. So I want to leave all of you with a request that let's approach the next 3 days with a sense of optimism, because there are challenges, but human will, human agenda, human agency will allow us to also do things about them. And hopefully together we can bring about change that we genuinely want to see on the ground and create livelihood opportunities for India's poor. Thank you and welcome again.
But I think the big ticket reform which the government carried out has been in terms of the extent of digitization of the Indian economy. Then between 2015 to 2017, we have opened 550 million bank accounts. We linked them up with both Aadhaar and mobile numbers, which enabled us to do fast payments. And we do today about close to 50% of the fast payments in the world. And the third thing, big ticket thing that has happened in India is huge focus on infrastructure, building 40 million houses, providing 130 million toilets, 253 million piped water connection, and making 88,000 kilometers of roads. And the fourth, I think, is this huge push actually, which India, we haven't taken so much credit of, but I think India is really driven green transformation. We're close to about 200 gigawatt of renewable energy. We're the only G20 country which has, achieved the COP21, the Paris target 9 years ahead of schedule.
It's fair to say that our jobs are changing even when we are not changing our jobs, right? Because we have on LinkedIn, we've seen skills shift for the same role by 25% between 2015 to now. And let me tell you that for the same role today, it's going to shift by another 70% by 2030. And not just that, we recently had a Jobs on the Rise report. And over 68% of the jobs on the new jobs on the rise, 68% of the jobs did not exist 20 years ago. So that's the world that we're living in. We are looking at massive pace of change.
Climate transition, climate issues are new to all of us, right? Even if we were to have all the governments across the world get all the financing that they need for climate, are we going to be able to deal with the crisis? Probably not. There's so much that we need to really build our capacities. So philanthropic capital really needs to step up and really be able to ensure that, to begin with, the social sector gets all the capacity that it needs for us.
The world is now looking at an alternative to China. And therefore, the opportunities is for India to take that product space.
Almost everybody has become a user of AI. We have seen POCs wherein AI can be used to diagnose tuberculosis, breast cancer, lung cancer, and diabetic retinopathy. For agriculture, we have several applications. Can I deploy it in every community health center which has an X-ray machine but does not have specialist radiologists?
So if you look at why we need societal transformation, why we need inclusion, it's for these three reasons. We have to reimagine what a job is. We have to create aspirations for it. Fixing water in this country is a job. We have 23 million water bodies, half of which are defunct. The rest of them have to be used better. That should be a job. Fixing soil of India should be a job. Taking care of old people should be a job.
Do you feel that there's a responsibility of the creative person or the filmmaker or the actor to nudge people in a way that perhaps can bring about positive change?
The fact our area of influence is a little wider than somebody who may not be engaged in the public domain, and of course there are degrees of it, right? A lot of the times people tell me, why don't you do more commercial films? Then what you really want to talk about, the things you care for, will reach more people. But then I feel, will I be the same person if I did things that don't come from a deeper conviction or do something that... So it's not about how big your circle of influence is, but whatever your circle of influence is, that creates... People do watch you, people do think about you, and you can't fool them for too long, right? So you have to, I think, just be true to yourself.
It's a very bad idea to set up micro enterprises. Micro enterprises were a solution for poor households to move them from uncertain low income to above subsistence level steady income, and it's done its job. 6.7 crore families are getting microfinance and are living reasonably okay. But it's not a solution to the employment problem of India. Even today, the micro enterprise only employs 2.1 persons. That is basically self and one family member, usually the wife, usually unpaid. So if we want employment to be created by enterprises, they have to be what I call DECI, D-E-C-I, DECI enterprises, employing 10 people.
If you got glasses as an adult and you need them, especially maybe to read your mobile phone, maybe you need them to read the menu in low light, maybe you need them to read your computer, maybe you're an Excel whiz and you need them for your Excel spreadsheet, take your glasses off. I want you to imagine now the innovation, the income, the productivity that would be lost. Take them off. I want everybody who has glasses to have them off. Okay, why am I asking you to take your glasses off? Because I want you to imagine 500 million people in India who are just like you right now, trying to earn a living, trying to succeed in school, trying to drive safely on the roads, who need glasses and cannot and don't have them.
In our country today, no matter which area we take, we lag behind in skills. Technology has been the biggest job creator in our country, and we need to adopt technology so that we continue to create jobs for the future, for ourselves and for rest of the world.
India has 23 million babies every year. If you take the next 5 countries, I mean, if I ask you how many babies does China have, that's only 9 million. Then it's Nigeria. If you take next 5 countries, put together, they don't have 23 million babies. We have a responsibility for young children, for humanity, in a way that no other country has.
I think we're going to democratize intelligence at a scale that we have not seen before in the history of mankind. But what is actually going to replace intelligence, and I probably am stealing his answer, is purpose.
The more we converse, the more we connect, the better it is for each one of us, and the better it is for the billions of citizens we are all trying to serve.
Conversations are important. India is a land of sambal, and particularly when you have different points of view, all engaging respectfully and politely with each other.
I suddenly get a lot of energy sitting in these sessions. It just lets you step back and realize some of the problems that we are facing as India and the work that we need to do.
What is the social challenge? What is the economic challenge? What is the poverty challenge? So I think inequality and the growing inequality is a very big challenge.
Conversations like charcha are important because they bring all stakeholders together and we can have an honest dialogue on how do we come together and solve some of the biggest problems for India to move the country forward.
When we meet, we are able to identify areas where we can leverage on, where we can develop synergies, and where we can also have partnerships.
So I always come here with thinking that I'll be inspired and I'll be excited. I've gone like 100x of what I came in with. The conversations, the number of people I've met, the problems people are trying to solve.
It's amazing to see the energy in the room. 6,200 teams are actually applied. We've whittled it down to 42. There are 42 teams right now actively hacking away.